Hey, good morning, YouTube. I'm out at the Wichita Mountain Wildlife Refuge this morning, and I was doing some landscape photography and wildlife and nature photography. Um, it is absolutely freezing cold out here today, but you can see the mountain vistas behind me and the open prairie here in Oklahoma, and it's just a beautiful day. But I'll tell you, when I got here, I didn't realize this, but there's a controlled elk hunt going on today, so that surprised me. But fortunately, the jacket that I was wearing, it's inside out right now. It's usually an olive-colored, olive drab down jacket that's great for wildlife photography because it's dull, muted colors. But fortunately for me, I realized it had an orange lining, and just so happens it's reversible. So I turned it inside out, so I was safe. And I just went out here. You see the single tree out there? That was a unique tree, and I got some photographs of that against this backdrop behind me. Of course, the sign was not in the photograph, but I'm just going to pan around here and let you see how open this prairie is, how beautiful it is. Look at the sunrise. The sun just rose just a bit ago. I got here a little late, but the clouds are beautiful. But yeah, so I've already seen elk, I've already seen deer, both does and bucks, and let's go out and continue to take photographs and nature and wildlife photography as well as some landscape. We'll talk to you soon. Okay, we're gonna walk out here. I just spotted this location. Looks like they've had a fire here or maybe a controlled burn, but let's walk up and take a look at this rock formation. And I've got my R10 with a 16 millimeter prime lens on it, and I was gonna see if maybe there's a shot we can make up here. YouTube. So I wanted to take a minute. I stopped here at one of the park areas, the picnic areas, just to kind of go over some of the equipment, because I often get asked what equipment do I take with me on one of these wildlife photography shoots. So again, as I mentioned, I'm out here at the Wichita Mountain Wildlife Refuge, and I've had a great day so far, and I want to just go over the equipment. So starting from left to right, actually I'll spin the camera around where I'm not so much in the picture. But okay, so first off, for the camera selection, here is my 70D. I shoot Canon products, but this is a 70D DSLR, which is a great camera. I have this paired up with a Tamron 70 to 300 zoom lens. And then next, I have the Canon 5D Mark IV. And on this one, I have the Sigma 150 to 600 super zoom lens. And then next to that, I have my Canon R6 Mark II. That's the in the mirrorless lineup, paired up with the Canon 200 to 800 super zoom telephoto lens. And then I also have an R10 mirrorless camera, and I have that paired up with a 16 millimeter prime, and I use that a lot of times for landscape photos. And then again, moving on to the next piece of equipment, I use the DJI product, and this is the Neo. This is my drone I do use this for aerial shots. And then when it comes to tripods, I have just a standard, I can't even remember what brand this is, but just a standard professional grade tripod with the square mount head. And then I move over one more, and I'll scoot to the side. And then this is a gimbal headed tripod. Now this is quite substantial. And then the actual gimbal head was sold separately. The original head that came with this tripod is this one here that I have on the monopod. It just paired up nicer with this. So I use this for getting mobile, and then this one's for, you know, the full-blown tripod where I have a chance to set up and take photos. But yeah, so I get asked that a lot, like what equipment do you have? What equipment do you use? And then of course I have a selfie stick that has a Bluetooth clicker, so I can hold the camera out on the selfie stick. Again, this is my cell phone, iPhone 16. And then I can start and stop the videos with this clicker. So that's nice as well. But anyways, so that's the equipment that I typically use when I come out. I also take two portable chairs. One of them is called a Waldrop pack seat. Now, for those of you outdoorsmen that are hunters, you may have heard of the Waldrop pack seat. It's a little bit pricey, but man, is it worth it. It doubles as, has backpack straps on it, super lightweight. It comes in a camouflage, like a OD green color, and it has the way it's constructed, it can level on every piece of ground, like whether it's crooked or, you know, downhill, uphill. It has self-leveling system. And then it also doubles as a pack shelf in the back. And I use that to put my tripods in and get mobile and get out in the woods to take photos. And then I use a small, much smaller chair. In fact, let me pause this now and I'll get those chairs out and I'll show you. Okay, so again, I just got out the chairs real quick as I put this on pause, and then I started the video again. But this is that smallest chair I was telling you about. It's super packable. It's tiny. I got that at Walmart. I think it was like $5 or $10. But anyways, that easily stows in a backpack. And then this is that Waldrop pack seat that I was talking about. And it's a lot more significant. You'll notice it has tennis balls on the ends. Those come with it. Those tennis balls go over the feet. And surprisingly, they'll keep that chair from sinking into soft ground, whether you're next to a lake, you know, right up at the shoreline where it's a soft ground, or on a creek bed. The chair will not sink in with those tennis balls on there. But again, here's the shoulder straps I was talking about. And then this piece here, the actual seat, folds through to the other side and was originally intended for a game pack shelf or meat shelf. But I use it to stow my camera gear as I'm hiking through the woods. So, but those are the cameras that I use, and I'm sorry, those are the chairs that I use when I'm out shooting photography for nature and wildlife. And anyway, so I just wanted to show you those. Okay, I should mention I also a few more pieces of kit that I should have mentioned. I didn't want to overlook it, but for a backpack, my backpack of choice is this North Face Terra 55. I believe that's what it is. Yeah, Terra 55. That's a fantastic backpack. The reason being because it's got one zipper that goes all the way around the main pack, and my camera bag, which is a square rectangular shaped camera bag, goes in there, and it can store my cameras as I hike through the woods. Not all of them, but I can take 2 or 3 with me at a time. Also, leg gaiters. So like, especially here in the Wichita Mountains, usually in springtime or summertime weather, those leg gaiters are essential because there's rattlesnakes here and venomous snakes. So those go right on over your, your boots and up your calf to protect you from snake bites. And then lastly, for optics, I wear the Vortex, and this particular model I believe is the HD. If I can get them out of there. Let's see what these are. Yeah, these are the Vortex. They're called the HD. I think they're 10 by 32s if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 10 by 32, and the HD version. So these are fantastic optics, very clear optics. I gotta have great visibility, but I use these when I'm out birding or searching for wildlife. So, and then I never go anywhere without being prepared in terms of, like, I've got a substantial amount of paracord here. You never know what you're gonna run into. And on this side, in my opinion, one of the best and probably the most trusty, if I can get it out with one hand. I don't know if I can get this out with one hand. Yeah, I can. The good old-fashioned Buck 110. This is tough to beat when it comes to a wilderness pocket knife. It's a folder, lock blade, brass ends, but this knife, when it first came out, there was a gentleman, I think in Alaska, who got himself in a situation where he had shot some sort of game, and then in that area, this was back in the 60s, but the grizzly bears, I guess, had gotten conditioned such that when they heard a gunshot, they knew that that usually meant that there was a kill nearby, so they would come to the gunshot. And sure enough, as this man was skinning his animal, I think it was a deer of some sort, a grizzly bear attacked him, and all he had, because he had left his rifle laying across the way, all he had on him was the 110, and he survived a grizzly bear attack by killing the grizzly with a Buck 110. So that was enough for me to say that goes in my pack for preparedness, and so it goes with me as I'm out in the woods, because you just never know. Anyway, so that is the essential kit that I take with me when I'm out taking wildlife photos and I'm out in the woods. Of course, I've got, today was fortunate because I just threw on this olive drab. I like to wear muted colors so I don't spook the wildlife, but turns out there was a controlled hunt going on here today, and I didn't know that. Probably should have done my research, but this was reversible. So until the visitor center opened up, I didn't know where the hunters were, and to be safe, I flipped this inside out so I had this bright color, and I stayed near the roadway. I didn't get off in the woods until I was able to verify that, hey, where's the safe place to go within the refuge here? And it turns out the whole refuge is safe. There's a designated area that has a fence around it. It's a vast area, but it's separate from where I was. So turns out I was safe all along, but it was good to know for sure. But in any case, I'm looking forward to posting this video, and I hope to see you all the next time I'm out and about. Talk to you soon. I also want to mention when it comes to my backpack and the concept of being prepared. So not only do I keep like a tourniquet and things like that in there, but especially when I'm out in a vast wilderness like here today, and I'll try to do this with one hand, but in this pocket, I keep with me a lensatic compass. So this is, and what I mean by that is, try to open it again with one hand. Hang on. Probably should have opened this before I started filming, but this is one of those lensatic military grade compass. This has a, whatever that material is, I can't think of it right now. But it glows in the dark, and it doesn't take any sort of sunlight or anything to work. It just, so I can navigate. I know if I have this in a vast area, I forget what this is, like some ridiculous number of acres. Let's just say it's like a 50,000 or something acres of wilderness out here. No cell phone coverage, no satellite coverage, or no, there is satellite coverage if you have a phone that's capable, which I do. But if things were to get really rough, I know I can navigate by way of this to find my way out. I never go anywhere without some way to navigate out should things get bad. And then in addition to that, on this side, and watch me prove myself wrong, but yeah, it's here. So I always keep pace beads. For those of you who might be ex-military or current military, you know what this is all about. So this is the means of not only, this paired with the compass, I can keep track of my direction as well as pace, so how far I've walked. And every time I walk 100 or 1,000 meters, or 100 meters or 1,000, I can just move a pace bead down so I can keep track that I've walked that far. And you count your steps, and you move a bead down. You count your steps, move another bead down, so forth and so on, until you get all that. Then you move one of these up to track. Okay, so that's so many kilometers, and then so forth and so on. But those pace beads are they're always on all my packs as well. Should things get really rough and I have to find my way out. So I didn't want to neglect to mention that too. Always be prepared when you're out doing this, and be safe.